Welcome, golf fans, pursuers of knowledge and the almighty dollar. This is your golf guru bringing you my hidden gems for the Masters. Going to be covering ownership projections, announcing the winners of the contest we just ran for the Milli-Maker, and also be doing a deep dive into my picks. And then at the end, I think it's interesting. I got some footage of Bryson DeChambeau discussing what irons he's been hitting in on his practice round. So stay tuned with that, and let's just real quickly, some housekeeping. Congratulations to the winners of the free entry into the Milli-Maker contest. This is the $20 entry. I will be sending these guys congratulations, and also requesting your email so I can PayPal you $20, and you can do whatever you want with it, but hopefully you put it in the Milli-Maker and use some of my picks and whoever you like. But in short, Chris Austin, he was picking Rose. Justin McDonald, he was picking Cam Smith. Fatty P picked Brent Weisberger, and Steve Aarons liked my Westwood call, and Tom T also picked Ian Poulter. So there's some other people's thoughts on who they like below 8K. Now, real quick, let's just take a look at the ownership projections. I got two of these for you because there is some higher ownership below too. But in short, right now, DJ, from an ownership projection, this is being recorded at about 2 o'clock Eastern on Tuesday. Is coming in almost 25%. You got Rahm at almost 22%. You got Tony Finau at almost 23%. Bubba Watson, almost 21%. So those are kind of your super chalky guys. And then, you know, of course, DeChambeau. You got Reed, Koepka, Matsuyama. Yeah, from the kind of the top leaders. So it gives you a good understanding if you're trying to, you know, make some switches or trying to gain some leverage on the field. At least you can see right now what, and this is coming from Fantasy National. These are people that either select their favorite players or are using these guys to do a multi-entry into DraftKings. And then secondly, this is kind of the next tier. Who kind of stood out? We got Cameron Smith, of course, so which we've been talking about. Jason Kokrak. This is interesting because he is new to Augusta, but his game has been in good form. He, you know, I kind of look at my Scheffler pick, where I like Scotty Scheffler, the only person that I'll probably be rostering that has no Masters experience. But it is going to be a little different this year with no fans and a lot of the events like the Par 3 Challenge and a lot of things. It's just going to feel different than usual, and there won't be maybe the anxiety or stress if they, you know, like Bubba Watson was stating that, you know, without the fans there, he's actually going to feel a little more chill and you know, should feel better. He mentioned, you know, he's won it twice here that, you know, once in a while he's got a little anxiousness to him. And at the very bottom, Siwoo Kim coming in almost at 16%, where I don't know if this is Siwoo's first time I'd even pull his background. I haven't been really looking at Siwoo, but his game has been decent, but Siwoo's short game just terrifies me here. I think around the green he's been doing well, but the putter, a lot like a Luke List. All right, so who's the guys that I'm looking at? And actually, Kevin Kisner here, I looked at his betting odds. I think it's 130 to 1. Out of all these guys, he's one I am going to bet. He is one that does have an outright to win, not in a top 20, just an outright to win. That's how good I feel about his chances if the weather goes a little sideways. Even if it's for Thursday, Friday, which right now the weather looks like Thursday, Friday, we're going to have the issues. Also on a side note regarding the cut, I don't know if anybody saw, but they just updated that it won't be the standard cut at the Masters, so it will be just top 50s and ties. The guys that are within 10 shots of the leader will not be making the cut if that happens. So just so you know, so it's going to be just a little tougher. That's due to the sun or the actual light that we'll have available. Comparative, they'll be shooting guys off 1 and 10 and threesomes. So anyways, just a little heads up on that. But, you know, why do I like Kevin? You can see at the top left, you know, he likes bent greens. When the weather and conditions get a little tougher, he does better. He has a nice pedigree of 4 times playing the Masters, almost a top 20 there, but making the cut every time, which that's, you know, the main thing I'm looking for these guys I'm talking about. And then recently, you know, if you go back to the Rocket Mortgage, I didn't go all the way back to Charles Schwab, but, you know, he's got a third, a fourth. And then with the 2, I'd say closer events with the no cut and a better field, he's come out 14th and a 45th. So, and then at the Tour Championship at 23rd. So the guy's been playing really good, and the guy's just a bulldog. And I pulled that picture here to the left because that's, I think his last win was the Dell Match Play. And that was a good field, and that was in tough conditions from a weather perspective. So anyways, I just noticed that he actually missed a cut at Memorial, which was tough conditions. But everything else is kind of pointing me in a direction that, I'm going to have Kevin Kisner in my lineup. I'm going to bet him outright. You make of that what you would like. Then we got Sneds. Again, you're going to notice, all these guys have some background with the Masters. I do believe that's crucial. Without having the greens books, that is going to be also detrimental. These guys are going to know these greens. They're going to know their misses. Also, I like Snez because when, as you see up there in the top right, the weather, when it goes a little sideways, he does well. He does like the bent greens. And then I just pulled up the last two recent rounds for him because he hasn't been playing that great for Sneds, but his last two rounds have showed some positives. He made the cut at the Shriners, which is this lower one here. Tee to green, he still lost total, but the putter's gotten better both rounds. I like that because that's a strength of him. And typically he's around the green game is strong. It's off the tee that has caused some issues. It's kind of funny. He kind of swapped here where off the tee he was losing, but gaining on approach versus the field. And then vice versa. I believe he shot 12 under, I think, at the Shriners, and then of course also made the cut at the Open and was leading the Houston Open on Thursday. Shot 5 under, and that was a tough go for those guys. So also the greens there are somewhat similar, and when I say that, there is some undulation, but I'm saying more of the runoff, the side berm, shave down. So you got to choose putt, chip. What do I do? Is very similar to how Augusta's greens will play. And then Francesco Molinari, again, didn't think I'd be saying this. The guy was on a course break for 9 months. I've talked about him in previous shows once he started coming back. The events that you have pulled up here were the Houston Open and also, I believe, I want to say the Shriners. Yeah, it's in Vegas. So you can see at the Shriners, he didn't overwow. He didn't make the cut, but he had to shoot 7 under to make the cut. He was 4 under, but not too bad for, again, this was like his first round. You can see since February of 2020, where he had a 53rd at WGC Mexico. And, from a putting perspective, it's showing here that he's, not excellent on any, but when he was, winning the Opens and, like when he competed here to win the Masters, as we all know, that kind of fell apart on just a couple shots. The guy is a great putter and one of the best approach iron guys there is. I kind of think back to Luke Donald of some of the best iron players I've seen with that kind of same skill set. Not real long off the tee, but very accurate. Amazing iron player, solid putter. But this is, like I said, the key things to look at here, and you'll see it here, is he gained in every stat category in this last round at the Houston Open, and that's a strong positive. So again, Molinari 6,700 right now, less than 7% ownership projected. Something you might want to look at. And again, this would be if you are putting a 2 or 3 stack together, if you're trying to squeeze in, so if a 2 stack was just hypothetically DJ, DeChambeau, or something like that, or a Rahm and a DJ, then, you might end up at least one guy you're going to need below 7,000. If you put a 3 stack that's, maybe a little less, like a Finau and a Mats with, a Justin Thomas, you're probably still going to have to end up in the 6,000s. And then Corey Connors. I was off and on this one because Corey's game around the green and his putting is where he struggles, but he's one of the most elite off the tee and hitting the irons, the longer irons. As you can see, though, his ownership's already over projected to be over 11%. And again, for that price tag, it's a good play. And he does have background at the Masters. The 2015 that you see there, he was an amateur. And I was just curious when I went into it. His first round, he shot an 80, which isn't a shocker that, first time to the course. And, of course, then you had all the buzz and the fans and everything going on. But then the next day, he came out on Friday and shot a 69. So, good for him that he settled. And then you can see he made the cut last year. So, the only thing that my big concern with Corey was this: when you look at when weather goes a little sideways, he definitely, you can see quite a significant loss in his scoring. But he has been doing well, been playing well. He does get you fantasy points. Will make some birdies, even possible eagles. So, I think he's a viable play here. Lastly is CH3 at 6,400, 4% owned. And multiple reasons why I like CH3, not because of his recent form, which has been, whatever. You could look. He had a 3rd place at the 3M Open. He did make the cut. The Shriners ended up 34th. But what I like, again, is out of 8 times playing at the Masters. He's made it, I believe, 5 made the cut. His best finish was a 13th way back in 2004. He's also was a member at Augusta National, also lives on the off the course. So long story short, knows the course very well, and also can play well in bad conditions. So take that all together. I think he's a viable play when you get down to this kind of pricing. And then I kind of mentioned, I think this was very interesting because I was talking about how I'm fading Bryson, and when I say that, I'm looking to put about maybe 10 to 15 hand-built teams in for this. Not going to be doing no 150 build for the Milli-Maker. And out of that, will I put maybe one team of him together? I probably will, just to hedge. But my overall builds would not be with Bryson, and that's just my own choice. I think that the experiment of, especially if the weather goes sideways, and I've seen where he's been approaching around the green. Now, again, the U.S. Open, around the green and putting was excellent. If he stays like that, he's going to boat race everybody. But I don't think that's going to happen again. And so I'm going to go, a little bit against the field on that one. So here, just check out what he's got to say. I think it's very interesting on the irons that he's been hitting in and his, thought process.
Opportunity, I think, this year. Thank you. Jimmy.
Yeah, Bryson, can you give us a sense of some of the clubs in your practice rounds and that you've been hitting into some of these greens here?
Yeah. So, you want to specifically the par fives, or?
Yeah, or some of the par fours.
Yeah, I mean, number 3, I can get to the green. Number 1, if I hit it in the fairway, I can have a 70-yard, 60-yard shot, especially, I guess you could say even in wet conditions, I'm able to get it up that close to the green. Number 2, I think I had 7-iron in the other day. Number 5, I had 9-iron and 8-iron. Yeah, it was into the wind, so it was 8-iron that day. Number 7, just a wedge shot, nothing crazy. It was into the wind every day I've played it. Number 8, I've had 6-iron in, as little as 6-iron in. Number 9, it's a 53 to 48 degree for me. Trying to think here real quickly. Number 10, it's a 9-iron at worst. Number 11 yesterday with Tiger and Freddie and JT, I had pitching wedge in. I asked Tiger, I said, what do you hit in 97? And he goes, pitching wedge. I was like, that's cool. All right. 13, I had pitching wedge in. I mean, I cut the corner drastically. So that's one of those where, if you do cut it up over and you can hit it high enough and draw enough, you can gain a pretty big advantage there. 14, nothing crazy. It was into the wind. 15, 8-iron. 17 into the wind. I hit 8-iron as well. And then 18, I mean, I hit it over the bunker. You could have 110 yards into the green. So, I mean, that's just a basic general principle of what it is. And, again, I can hit it as far as I want to, but it comes down to putting and chipping out here. That is one of the things that I think people sometimes struggle to see. As much as I can gain an advantage off the tee, I still have to putt it well and chip it well and wedge it well and even iron play it well. And that's what I did at the U.S. Open. If I don't putt it well at the U.S. Open, if I don't wedge it well, if I don't get my irons close, I don't win that tournament. So
in short, as he kind of states, it all comes down to the short game and approaches, which I've already stated. Again, I don't think I think Justin Thomas was talking earlier in his press release, and he was even stating that he played with Bryson. It wasn't like he was out driving him by 40 yards or anything, like, maybe here or there, 10, 15 yards. So we'll see how it all shakes out. It'll be that, I think that's, going to be a must watch just for that. So that's it. I appreciate that you spent some time with me. That's kind of the wrap for all my master shows this week. I'm excited, just as probably sure you are, to see how everything shakes out, and all the best of luck to us. And if you, again, are liking what you see, please click the like, share it with anybody else that you think might also get value from this. If you haven't subscribed, please do. That would mean the world to me. And again, all the best. And for the winners, I will be sending you a request for your emails and send you out a PayPal so you can get those entries in. All right, everybody take care. Best of luck.
life.